This is After Effects Apprentice Lesson 10 Comp 1. We're going to learn to use the paint tools in After Effects. The paint tools are really cool because they're non-destructive and fully animatable and keyframeable. So what we will do is we will select this. If you take a look at it, you'll notice that it is on an alpha channel. And we will then go into paint mode in our workspace. And if you click the paintbrush, you'll notice that it does not, in the comp, the paintbrush does not work. It will only work in the layer mode. We'll want to make sure we're at the beginning of this comp because the way that we paint these strokes will be remembered in After Effects and will give us a chance to write them on with animation. Okay, so the brush tool has been selected. Now let's pick our paint options. First, let's set our color. I'm going to pick something kind of pinkish. We want our opacity to be at 100, our flow to be at 100. We want normal mode for right now. We want to write on RGB because we don't want to write on the alpha channel. If you wanted to write on the alpha channel, you'd write RGB alpha. And we want our duration to be constant. So this is the size of the brush that just came up, and what's cool about After Effects is that if I hold down the command button, I'm now left clicking on the mouse and I can then adjust the size, and now I'm going to keep the mouse down, and now I'm going to hold down the option button, and now I can adjust the edge softness. Okay, and even if you don't like it right now, you can change it later. So now I'm going to write my first stroke. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to hold the mouse down and I'm going to follow that line. I have released the mouse. Now I'm going to do the same on this side. And now I'm going to paint in her lips. Okay, so that looks good. So now let's go down to, I'm going to twirl down on our layer, and we're going to look at the brushes. When we did the left one first, that's brush 1, that's brush 2, and the lips are brush 3. Let's take a look at the options on brush 1. We can change the color. By animating this end, you can see how it will write on. We can, let's write this thing on. We can change the diameter still. We can change the hardness of the brush. Change the roundness of the brush. We can change the opacity. And the thing that I'm most interested in is changing the mode. Let's switch it to overlay. And now it looks like it's a bit more part of the image. And we will do the same to our other two, overlay and overlay. And I'm going to, on brush 2, I'm going to decrease our diameter a little bit. Okay, and so now all we need to do is animate the writing on of this color. So let's go ahead and we will keyframe the end of brush 1 and 2, and we'll go down to 1 second, and we will set them both at 1. Oh, okay, so they're set at 100 right now, so that's what we'll drag down here. We'll go home and we'll set them both at 0 And then when they're written on, I want to do brush 3, which is the lips. So we'll set it at 0. I will keyframe it, and at second 2, we'll drive it up to 100%. And we'll just render 3 seconds. I'm going to hit RAM preview. If you look over here, that's how it writes on. So this is a really big file, so when you render it, make sure it is definitely H.264, and you can even size it down if you want. I'll hit Composition, Make Movie. We'll go to our render options. Make sure that it's H.264, and we can resize it. We'll lock the aspect ratio. Maybe we'll just set it to 500. And now it'll be much smaller when we render. Okay, so go ahead and render that.